I'm assuming we have a pro Auburn crowd in here today, so I'm going to give you a big War Eagle. I'll tell you what, I hate podiums, so don't mind me if I'm walking around the stage talking to you, but I've been blown away by the spirit of the Auburn family. And that encompasses this whole community, Opelika, Auburn. The spirit of the family values in this area has blown me away, my family away, my staff. The reception that we've received all over the community, all over the state, has been unbelievable. And it really, it takes your breath away, because you hear family in so many different organizations, and a lot of times it's lip service. But until you start to live and breathe what the Auburn family is about, I tell you what, it's something unique and it's something special. I'll give you a couple stories about my experiences with the Auburn family so far. Right when I got here, they had me play in, and I don't know why, because I can't play golf at all, but I'll go have fun with it. They had me play in the Regions tournament, the Pro-Am, up in Birmingham with the seniors. And the group I was with was an Auburn group. Charles Barkley was in the group. Coach Sullivan, the great quarterback from Auburn, was in the group. And our pro was Corey Payton. And you know that Birmingham area is supposed to be this unbelievable Alabama area. So we're getting introduced on the first tee. And I don't know how many of you play golf in here. And I really don't know how many of you get to tee it off in front of about 1,000 people in the stands. You're in this like a gladiator in this arena. I can barely hold the club while I'm up on the first tee. So they're introducing everybody, and Charles was the first one to get introduced. And the entire stands, what do they do? Boo, boo. I mean, they were all Alabama people. And Charles says, wait a minute, hold on, stop, guys. I love the University of Alabama. I wanted to go to the University of Alabama. It was a dream of mine to play there. But my grades just got good enough that I could get into Auburn, so I didn't have to go to Alabama. You talk about the air coming out of the stands. I mean, they didn't know what to say. That was a great moment. And another one was this spring, one of the freshmen that we have on campus currently, I won't mention his name, but when I recruit a young man, it's not just recruiting a basketball player. I'm recruiting a student athlete. I'm recruiting a total person. Character is just as important to me as athleticism. Because I'll take a kid with less talent, with a higher level of character, and you'll win more than you'll lose with those type of players. So it's important to me that I'm just not recruiting that player for his skill level. I want to know who that kid is. And to do that, you've got to get to know everybody that surrounds the kid. From his mom, his dad, to his teachers, to his pastor, to the principals, to people, athletic trainers, to see how this kid truly, what his spirit is about. And so I'm going into the school, and I don't announce that I'm coming. And I like to go around and just kind of introduce myself to people on my own. And I walk into the principal's office and introduce myself. And before I got, hey, I'm Coach Barbee from Auburn, out of my mouth, the principal walks up to me and says, hey, Coach, War Eagle. I said, you're one of us. Yeah, Coach, we're one of you. And so she says to me, you won't believe what I did. Just yesterday, the coach from that other school in the state came by to see the same young man you're here to see today. And when he came, he tried to introduce himself. I was polite and all those things. I said, hey, Coach, I'm sorry, though. The young man called in sick today, and he didn't come to school. So she said he turned around and left. I said, I love it. That's what the Auburn family is about. We got to take care of our own. But as I try to rebuild this basketball program in my own image, how I see my team playing. The one thing, there's a few things I want, when people watch my team, I want them to say. One, I'm a true believer in that your team takes on the personality of the coach. And I'm not going to date myself, but none of you saw me play I wasn't very fast. I couldn't jump real high, but I guess what? I was one of the dirtiest, nastiest players. I'd give you an elbow, I'd trip you. I mean, anything to win. That grittiness that I think you got to play with, that toughness, a cerebralness where I'm a big believer in when you play sports, especially basketball. The game is 5% physical. It's 95% mental. So I want my teams to be able to play the game, not just play the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I go recruiting the things that I'm looking for. And when I got the job, I come from the press conference, and when I got introduced as the head coach, and I wanted to meet the team. I wanted to see what I was going to be working with. I wanted to talk to the guys. We got them all in a room, and I came in and introduced myself, and they were all sitting down. So I walk in, and I wanted to get a good look at them, just see what I was going to be working with. And I'm a pretty big guy, but I'm not that big. So I walk in, and they're sitting down. I say, guys, stand up. They stand up, and I said, no, seriously, stand up. Stand up. I want to get everybody was shorter than me. You never want that as the basketball coach. I want guys that I got to walk around and look up to and talk to. So needless to say, as I take over, we got some challenges. And things are never easy. Never easy coming in the door. And one of the things I'm a big believer in, and I think it's applicable in business as it is in sports, and it came from my dad, was keeping things in perspective and being patient. He always used to say, Tony, no matter how good things may be, we go get Josh Langford, the state player of the year out of Huntsville, one of the top 100 players in the country. We come in the door and sign him out of Huntsville right away. It's never that good, he would say. Or we lose Frankie Sullivan, most likely for the year. Who knows how his knee will respond to the rehab. And we lose probably our best interior player, Ty Armstrong, to a knee, most likely. I just came back from Birmingham yesterday. I was up there with him, giving him support as Dr. Andrews did the surgery on his knee. It's never that bad. Never that good, never that bad. Somewhere in the middle lies reality. And I'll tell you a story. I got an older brother, Chris, who's 2 years older than me. He was a football player. And he went off to college. He was in his freshman year. And he had been gone for about a month and a half, and we hadn't heard from him. So we're sitting around the dinner table one night. It's my mom, my dad, my younger brother, and I. We're sitting around the table. And we're going through the mail. My dad's going through the mail. We're talking about Chris. I wonder what he's doing. Up pops a letter from Chris. So my dad rips it open. He starts to read it. It said, Dear Mom and Dad, I want to apologize for not being in contact with you. We had a little issue at college. The dormitory that I was living in burned down. But I'm physically fine. I'm okay. I'm doing great. I got out. I'm doing fine. But I lost all my possessions. I lost my books, lost all my clothes, but I'm okay. I was able to go down to the Salvation Army and get some clothes. I got clothes on my back. I was able to get with my fellow students and borrow some books from them, so I caught up academically. I'm doing okay. I found a great apartment to live in off campus. Great place to live off campus. I got a wonderful roommate, Sally. She's a great gal. Great gal. Can't wait for you to meet her. As soon as she gets out of rehab, I'm going to bring her by so you can meet her. You're going to love her. She's sweet. She's smart. She's just going through a rough patch right now, but when she gets out of rehab, I'm going to bring her by. I want to apologize, though, for not inviting you to the wedding. It happened all of a sudden. We fell in love. We had to go do it. I truly apologize, but I had to go marry this gal. She's a great gal. But I do want to congratulate you on becoming grandparents. So you can imagine now, the letter gets tossed. Me and my younger brother, we're ducking because knives are being thrown, plates are hitting the wall, steam's coming out of my mom's ear, and she snatches that letter off the ground. She says, give me that letter. She goes on to finish it. Says, Dear Mom and Dad, P.S. All the above was a lie. I failed my first chemistry final, and I want you to keep things in perspective. So that's kind of a creed that I live by. Whether we're running away with the SEC one day, which is going to happen,